over it. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on Straight Outta Savannah, talking with Tammi. My guest, Stacy Christine, is joining me, and she's going to share a little bit about who she is and what it is that she does. Take it away.
Hey girl, hey. Thank you so much, Tammi, for having me on here. I'm truly grateful for just the short period of time that we get to know each other. It's really amazing and I am just honored to be here, to be honest. So I am Stacy Christine. I go by Coach Stacy Christine on Instagram. And basically I am a coach that helps women entrepreneurs kind of like what I realized from my own personal self was a lot of past traumas was holding me back for the ambitious, spirited person that I am. So what I had to do was what I help entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs do is find out what is the trauma that's kind of holding you back so that you can excel in the things that your heart and your spirit and your subconscious truly wants you to do. So at this moment, I am currently doing online courses to help women entrepreneurs get over those past fears. And I also incorporate hypnosis therapy inside of it. And then I also help individuals create an online business. So I am a firm believer of ownership first off, and then creating your ownership online because online is open what 24/7.
Yes.
No matter what
Yes.
part of the world you are at, you could be online and you could stumble upon my link for you to pay for something that I'm offering. So that type of business model is where I'm at. And that's the type of business model that I like to help other entrepreneurs get to because I come from the beauty industry. I've owned 2 salons. I'm located here in New York City. The first salon was actually around the corner from my beauty school, which was on 34th Street between 5th and 6th. So that's literally the Empire State Building's right here. My school was right here. And 3 years after graduating from Empire Beauty School, I actually opened up a salon on 34th Street between 2nd and 3rd. So my school was right here, Empire State Building right here, and my first salon was right here, right in the heart of New York City. It
Oh,
was fucking
wow.
phenomenal. I know it was phenomenal. But I opened it with a partner, and that didn't work out. But I
Gotcha.
did I did end up opening up another salon on my own and it was amazing. However, I was stuck in that box. Literally, I was
Yes.
stuck in that box. Like you have to do the marketing, you have to do the service, you have to do the uh all of the stuff, the
The hair.
admin, the social media. You have to do all of the stuff and at that time I was a single mother. I just left my husband who became abusive. So I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. You can't do this to me. Open my second salon. And whenever I was in that salon, I felt trapped and I was drawn to online. So I went and started YouTube University, Google University too. I started Googling how can you make an income online while I was in my salon. I just remember being in a salon like, where can I be? How can I be online? And it ended up happening to where like a lot of clients were asking me for personal mentorship and coaching on different aspects. And so what I stumbled upon was at that moment was affiliate marketing or multi-level marketing. I'm gonna try to keep it. Everybody's experience is different when it comes to it, but this was back in 2016. And so a lot of companies said that they were something and it wasn't what it was for the most
Yes.
part. And
Yes.
that's why restrictions started happening on Facebook with selling your business and Instagram turned it into a business model at the end of the day.
Yes.
So what I led into was very God driven. I will say that definitely because I was able to coming from a abusive relationship. I was able to come into a community that preached the love, preached the God, that preached all of that good stuff, and I did feel it. at one point, but I had a little bit of a confrontation with my upline. And in those industries, the multi-level, the network marketing, the
Yes.
affiliate marketing, usually somebody has to refer you to whatever business that it is. You know, they go and reach out to you. So
Yes.
your upline is usually your leader, the person that
Yes.
you look up to. It's your upline.
Yes. Yes.
So I looked up to my upline for a good year and a half. And then whenever they saw that one of their prospects signed up to another business that they weren't a part of, they got a little upset and
Gotcha.
totally kicked me out. Totally kicked me out. So at that moment, I was like, you know what? I need to figure out what's going on with me. Because I just came from an abusive husband. Now it's like, holy shit, I just totally get kicked out and get rejected out of this thing that I've been giving for at least a year and a half now. Let me figure it out. So then that's when my whole healing journey happened. And I became a coach because at the end of the day, when I was in the beauty industry, I was still mentoring and coaching
Yes.
people without even realizing it, you
Yes.
know? And I'm so all about healing from past traumas
Yes.
that I've been on that journey for a long period of time. And so I was helping individuals indirectly. And just one day it's not even one day. I had like a whole prophet come to me and everything. And I was like, you know what? I am a coach. I'm just gonna live in that and let God direct me for the rest. So literally
Yes.
January 6th of 2021, I coined myself as Coach Stacy Christine. I don't even know how long I was talking for, but I'm so sorry. You're
No,
like,
but that's perfect. That is perfect. Because normally I have to pull this out of people.
oh, okay.
So the way that you just did it was like, that's right. Because, normally they'll say, well, I'm so and so and blah, blah, blah. And then they'll stop. And I'm like, okay, so how did you get here? And, what came of that? And, what made you know that this was what you needed to do? And so what made you
Right.
know that this was what you needed to do?
Yeah, that was definitely what made me know that this is what I needed to do.
And
All of what I just said, all of it.
how do you advise other people that come to you and say, I don't know what to do, I'm stuck, I'm in this place? And do you typically work mostly with women, or is it
I
men as
typically
well?
most at this moment, I am for the women. Like I want us to, like I said before, heal from past traumas. And people don't even realize that it's not just your mother that went through stuff, but it's your mother's mother that can pass on to you. That's what they call generational curses, or it can be
Yes.
generational wealth, you
Yes.
know? So at this moment, I am for the ladies, but when I started out, I just wanted everybody to be an entrepreneur, period.
Hmm.
So I do have is one individual actually when I first started the whole online stuff that follows me everywhere that I go because he believed in me, I believe in him. So I keep him incorporated. He's a good guy at the end of the day, like I like the good guys that are just like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but I really appreciate and it fills my heart with so much joy to help a female.
Yes.
And I think it's really a part of my generational stuff because I'll get a little deep. Hope you don't
And you
mind.
can. Hmm.
Um, so my oldest brother, who was actually 21 years older than me, just passed away in March of this year,
Oh, wow.
2021. And I had to bury him. And my aunt I was able to stay with whenever we were planning the funeral and all that stuff. So I started asking her questions because I never had a true relationship with her. Um, it goes to the racism part of it. I'll just give you a very brief synopsis. My mom is white and Native American, and my dad is just African American, right? So my mom had me at 36 years old with a black man, but she was born in 1948, and my dad was born in 1928, so 20 years before. They didn't have interracial couples at that time. And then my mom having the Native American in her, it was a whole bunch of kind of like racism and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I got disconnected with my aunt because of just people didn't communicate. People dust things under the rug a lot.
Yeah.
So they didn't communicate. And so I was able to spend time with her when we were burying my brother. And she basically told me that my grandmother, which is her mother, was programmed to think that a man was the only way that you can survive in this world.
Right.
When she told me that March 2021 of this year, I was like, no, it can't be just my grandmother that went through that.
No,
It
it's
had
lots of them.
hundreds and thousands, maybe even millions.
That was the thinking of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how they thought. It's like, you know, you had to have a man, and if you didn't have a man, you were worthless, you know?
Exactly.
And
Exactly. So
it perpetuates today.
hell freaking yeah. So I found out just March 2021 that my grandmother had at least 6 husbands. That's how many her daughter can count. Husbands, 6 husbands.
Ooh.
you you feel it, right? You
Mhm.
feel it, right?
Yeah.
And so my mother and her sisters, who are white and Native American, exotic looking for American at that time,
Mm-hmm.
went through a lot of trauma that I can't even get into. So it's my passion, it's my heart. Like I can feel my heart coming to this camera right now for the women, because I ain't gonna let them go down. I ain't gonna let them go down.
That is like, ooh, we need you in this world, because a lot of women don't even know that they're dealing with that level of trauma.
Right.
You know that it, yeah, that it came back. It didn't just start with them. You know, it didn't just
Mm-hmm.
start with them with, the abusive husband and all that stuff, but it goes back in the generations, and they don't know that they're carrying that forward. And then
Yes,
what do? We pass it to our daughters,
absolutely.
and so just the fact that you are out here on the front lines
Mm,
working toward um, stopping that from being normal,
yeah,
because that's what has happened. It's like it's normalized. It's almost like now with the school shootings.
right.
It happens so much till you're like, oh, another one.
It's,
We're
it ain't
desensitized.
even nothing. It's almost like school shooting. Okay, let me go about my day,
Yeah.
because we're used to it. It's the programming of the
Yes.
shit, but that shit ain't right.
Exactly. I mean, we've gotten desensitized, so now it's like, oh, another one. Okay, well, whatever. They happen all the time. Same
Mhm.
thing with them killing black people. Happens
Exactly.
all the time. Every other day. It's like, oh God, they done shot another one. They shot another one. They shot another one. But we're slowly becoming desensitized to it until we're not.
Right.
And that's the same thing. And the same thing with these generational traumas coming from our mothers and our lineage and our ancestors and stuff. And a lot of times, we don't even know that
Mm-hmm.
that has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like you said, we sweep it under the rug. We
Absolutely.
don't talk about it. Some things, and
Absolutely.
people used to tell us when we were kids, some things we just don't talk about.
Exactly.
You
But you
know,
need to.
yeah, we need to have these conversations. And I'm super grateful that you have decided to take this mantle and to do this thing.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I I I I'll be 100% honest. I've been trying to find my voice on what I know the inside wants to convey. You know what I mean? Because
I do.
it's sometimes hard to, you have all of this bottled up, but the way that it sometimes can convey may scare somebody or intimidate somebody or just like run from you. But at the end of the day, it's like this is stuff that is deep down inside of all of us that has to come out. And because we've been so programmed from our family and everything to say, no, we don't speak about that to strangers. We need to speak about that stuff to strangers, because that's what's going to allow our infinite spirit to come out.
Mm. Ooh, okay, so I'm gonna have to, yeah, I gotta come out on that one. It's like we are so conditioned to hiding that we just hide, and we don't even, and it's normal. We don't even think about the fact that, we need to talk about this stuff. We need to get this shit out here. We need to, people need to see,
Mhm.
you know, and people need to talk in order to be able to heal and to transition to, you know, greater places and other places. And so that we don't keep perpetuating the same bullshit, you know, generation after generation after generation, and it just being something that, you know, people talked about over here, but they didn't talk about it over here. You know,
Mhm.
there's two books on that, you know, stuff like that. So have you
Yeah.
been thinking, have you written a book at all? Or are you thinking of writing a book?
You're like the 100th person to tell me the right one. I'm at I know I want to. I know I do want to, but I think I'm truly working off of the spirit nowadays. And it's like at when you really do work on yourself and do your inner work, and I call it brainwashing yourself to success. When
Okay.
you when you do the certain strategies to brainwash yourself to success, and what brainwashing yourself to success is connecting with spirit. That's it. That's it. Our spirits, our ancestors, the people that died are wanting you to succeed. The people that died before us want you to succeed. They will guide you on where to go.
Mm.
One of my favorite quotes is, "You are your ancestors' greatest dream. You are your ancestors' greatest dream."
Oh,
So
I've
they're
heard that.
they're here to guide you. And one story that I actually recently went back to because of my favorite Beyonce, "Welcome to the Beehive." I love Beehive. That's um whenever she did Black is King, she basically almost remade the Lion King as a black version. And I loved the Lion King when I was young, but I really connected to Black is King. And Black is King, she basically said, Lion King and Black is King basically said, whenever the monkey took him to the water, Simba or the black child to the water, he looked into the water and his father was there. And so the monkey said, "Look up in the sky." When you look up into the sky, he saw his father. And his
Yes.
father said, "I am in you. I am here for you. And don't ever forget that."
Mm.
I got chills too.
That's powerful.
I got chills too.
Hmm.
So like your ancestors are here for you, and they're guiding you to make sure that you can be the success story. You just literally have to just connect to it. And so with me writing the book, I know that my ancestors are going to connect me to the right people so that it can happen easily and effortlessly.
Yes.
Yo, I just said that. And I didn't even like kind of, my conscious self is like, I know it's going to happen, but whenever I get to it, but at the end of the day, it's when things just start to happen and you're like, "Oh, okay, I accomplished that. Oh, I accomplished that. Oh, I just accomplished that. I accomplished that." You know that you're in spirit, you're in the zone,
Yes.
you're
Yes.
in the flow. And so I know that the oceans is going to be opening for me to do it. And it has to be soon, because I know that this is book one. That was book one. What I just told you, everything I just told you is book one.
Hmm.
There's gonna be a book two that's gonna blow your fucking mind.
Hmm.
And so
I am.
I want to just release book one so that I
Mhm.
can get book two, you know. But spirit's
I
gonna open
am.
it up.
I'm listening to you, and that is exactly what I heard.
Okay.
It is book one. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are. I mean, because the take that you have on it is different than the take that other people have on it. Because there are lots of people now, especially now, because you know we're in the midst of this awakening. We have this pandemic, and it's, you know, making people to, you know, open their eyes and wake the fuck up and all that, and that's all good and everything. And then there are people that are, you know, at this place where they're feeling called and pulled to connect with their ancestors.
Hmm.
I'm actually one of those people, because I was like,
Hmm.
okay, this is where I gotta go, because my grandmother was my person, you know, and she's in spirit now. And
Yeah.
um, I don't think she ever left me, to be honest with you. I don't feel that she ever
Hmm.
left me, even though, because she was a person I never ever thought she would die,
Oh.
you know, and it was like, oh my God. you know, when she actually did, true story, I was at the funeral and I was fine. Everybody kept asking me, "How are you doing? You all right?" Because I was, you know, her favorite, and I don't have a problem admitting that now. I
Yeah.
didn't want to in the past because there's probably, I think I got about 30 first cousins, you know?
Oh,
All
wow.
of us. Yeah, on just that side. And
Wow.
so she had 10 kids. So I was like, you know, but I knew I was the favorite and everybody else knew too. So when I was at the funeral, everybody kept asking me, "Are you okay? You okay? You okay?" And I was like, "Yes, leave me alone." And I was okay until I went up there and saw her in that box. And then I
Oh,
wasn't.
it's real now.
I was done. You know, to be honest, I think about it now. People are asking me, they're like, "You remember when I was talking to you?" And I'm like, I had left the building.
Beginning and end, or after you saw her?
No, at the end of it, you know, at the end of it, you know, you go up and you look at the, you know, you view the body. So the
Mm-hmm.
end of it, we were going up to view the body, and I went up, and I was so grateful that now my ex-husband and my son were on either side of me because I went
Yeah.
down
Oh,
because
man.
I just could not believe that she was in the box.
But the memory of people talking to you at the funeral, was it after you went up to the box, or was it, do you remember the people talking to you before? Or you don't?
Before I went up, I remembered, but
Oh,
after
okay.
I didn't
I
remember.
got
Like
you.
when we went to the burial and all that, I don't remember
Yeah,
none of that.
I got you.
None of it. It's like it's like I left
My
the building.
my chef boyfriend wants me to try his soup because I love soup. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I,
Oh
I
no,
don't want
that's okay. This is fine. This is this show. Okay,
here, baby. I
this is
love
this
it.
is
Thank
real.
you.
And
Thank
you got
you.
a chef boyfriend. That's a good thing.
Hell yeah, because I'm a terrible cook. I
See,
wouldn't say terrible.
but he's
He's
much better. Was it good?
he's literally, hell yeah, it was good. He's literally a chef. Like, he's an international chef. So I definitely got blessed with that right
You
there.
really did. Oh my God. And you, ooh, Jesus. I say that about my husband because I hate shopping, like grocery shopping, and he loves it.
Oh,
And I'm
you're
like,
lucky with that, especially
girl,
after COVID.
well, actually, you know what's funny is we do a lot of ordering. You know, we order from Costco's and they deliver it, and that's
Yeah,
generally how we do. Or we every now and then, you know, we'll go pick something up or something, but we don't do no major shopping like walking around these stores. Mm-mm.
interesting.
You know, it's like no, they'll bring it to the house, and it's wonderful. That way, I don't have to go. It's good. You know, I mean, I actually asked him, "Is that a good price?" Because I love to go to thrift stores and you know other stores, but I don't like to. I hate grocery stores. Like ugh.
That's how he is. So I have to do the shopping, and he'll
Right.
complain. He'll complain about the actual food. Like, all right, chef, you go to the shopping then. Like, come on, man. I don't know. I pick up. I look at the whole because I'm all about angel numbers. If it says 333, 444, 555, 1111, 12, like all of that, I pick it up. Like, oh yeah, that's a good beat. But other than that, yeah, I do the shopping, but he does the cooking, and I thank you, Jesus, for that. And so does my son.
I'm
My
sure
son is
because
very
then you get good food.
absolutely quarantine 15 went to quarantine 50 for me. It was
Exactly. It's like
great.
okay. It's like all right. So where do you see? What is your vision for your business?
My vision for my business. I'm just gonna really talk off of spirit right now
That's what
because
you're
at
supposed
this
to do.
moment, at this moment, I'm all about my course, which my course helps entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, first off, figure out their blockages, figure out what could possibly be holding them back. Because I'm not just all about, like, yeah, you got to have a positive mindset. I want to know what has happened in your life that could possibly be hindering you. Because that's what exactly what happened to me whenever I first started my online journey. I was getting the my mentor was applauding me, my upline would applaud me after a certain time and would be like, oh yeah, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that. But I started self-sabotaging myself because I didn't feel as though I was worthy of this success. I didn't feel as though I was deserving of the success. So, and I also didn't have boundaries in my life at that time. So I
Yeah.
had to figure out like, okay, so why am I not having the success? And what is it that could be possibly holding me back? So when my upline kind of was like, I was like, okay, I took a step back and I figured out all of those things. So I started going to more therapy on in person before COVID. I started hiring spiritual coaches. I started hiring people that could actually open up my mindset instead of just talking about business, because no matter what, if you're not internally good with yourself, no
It's
matter
not gonna
what
work.
you do, it's gonna work. Like
It's not gonna
even
work.
if even if people say you're good at this, if you're not internally good with yourself, it's not gonna work. Now, there's
Yes.
some situations that is like, people can be successful because they're driven off of that success. But sometimes you're gonna crash and burn, or little things is gonna really happen to where you're just not thriving. There's a place where of course we're human beings, but we're there's all of us. One thing that I learned was abundance is your birthright.
Yes.
Abundance is your birthright. So if
Yes.
it's your birthright, then I was birthed to live in abundance. So that means
Right?
I need to figure out I need to figure out what abundance is to me, because everybody's definition of abundance is different.
Yes.
Everything that makes them happy is different. I
Yes.
need to figure out what my definition of abundance is and to work towards it, because it's my birthright and I
Yes.
deserve it and I'm worthy of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just go towards it. But I had to go through the bullshit
Yes.
before that I can even figure that out. And I'll give a little tip. God, the higher power, universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it, will show you signs.
Yes.
And a lot of people will be like, just a flag on the play. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on playing this game.
They're not gonna pick up the breadcrumbs.
Exactly. Then
Mm-hmm.
they're going to get to, it's more than a sign. It kind of like, oh, it kind of shifted me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. But they still don't read the sign.
Yes.
So then whoever you believe into, the universe, higher power, spirit, God,
Right.
they're gonna slap you in your motherfucking face. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna knock you down. They're gonna knock
Yes.
you down. And it's
Mm-hmm.
usually not until you have that breakdown that you
Yes.
can have a breakthrough.
Yes. That's good.
And when you have that breakthrough, I pray that the people that are hearing this right now can understand that they need to put into the work in order to overcome what they had to break through. That's the only way that it can happen. And that's when it comes to the healing journey.
Yes.
We're all healing at the end of the day, because like we said before, your generations had to go through some shit for you to
Yes.
be here.
Yes.
So that's the internal stuff that you may not be able to break on
Yeah.
your own. And that's exactly why I got into hypnosis therapy.
I was gonna
Hypnosis.
ask that, but we don't even get there.
But that's exactly
I
why
said
I got into it.
so the hypnotherapy helps.
The hypnotherapy, I'm gonna try to explain it to where it's not like, oh, that's weird, but this is all scientific facts that I'm talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have two minds, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Your
Mm-hmm.
conscious mind is the one that's living on this earth, that's making the decisions. I'm going to choose that person as my partner. I'm going to choose that house as where I'm going to live into. I'm going to choose that car that I'm going to drive into. I'm going to choose this job to get into, right? That's your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind is what has been programmed based off of the thoughts, the experiences, and the memories that you've had, but also the thoughts and the memories that your ancestors have had. So I don't know if you ever heard the quote, but you were formed in your mother's womb before you even were in your mother's womb. Your purpose was formed before you were even in your mother's womb,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if that's the case, then a lot of okay, your purpose was formed in your mother's womb before you even created. So what you have to do as a person is make sure that the programming that you had as your conscious mind, so growing up as a kid, you're a teenage, your adulthood, all of the things that programmed your conscious mind, you have to make sure that you're able to break that, break those negative things that have happened. Because it
Yes.
could be as something as simple as a child walking and they have not the right clothes on, and somebody says, oh, you look like trash. So now it can carry on to anything that they put on. I look like trash, I look like trash, I look like trash.
Yes.
And that emotion got programmed in your conscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
So it carries on indirectly without people even realizing it. So what hypnosis therapy does is taps into your subconscious mind to find out what experiences, what happened, what programming got programmed into your conscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
and helps you relieve from that programming so that your conscious mind, you living on this earth, can move forward and go in your purpose, because your purpose was already created before you even formed in your mother's womb.
Okay, that's powerful. That is so powerful. Okay, so let the people know if you had one thing to say to them, and then let them know how to connect with you, how to find you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, what broke my spirit was abundance is your birthright.
Yes.
Abundance is your birthright. No matter who is listening to this, your abundance is your birthright. Birth, because you were birthed onto this earth.
Yes.
It's your right. It's your right to have abundance. And abundance is whatever you make it. So, whatever fills your heart with joy, follow your joy. Follow your joy, because that's what infinite spirit, that's what your subconscious mind, that's what your ancestors want you to do, is follow your joy, and abundance is your birthright.
That is powerful. You just don't even know. Anyway, tell people where they can find you if they want to connect.
So on Instagram, I'm Coach Stacy Christine, and Stacy is spelled Stacy. Christine is with the Chrisistine. One of my students recently just said, you know, you got Christ in your name. I was like, what? It kind of took me aback. What?
Because
don't
you got
tell
the
me,
Christ consciousness thing going on.
don't tell me that. And then Facebook is Stacy Christine. My actual website is monetizeyourbrandonline.com. And that's where you can reach me. You can slide into my DMs. I don't mind this. Slide into my DMs on Instagram, slide into my DMs on Facebook. If you want to be professional, and send me an email. It's Stacy, Stacy at monetizeyourbrandonline.com.
All right. That is so powerful. I am beyond grateful that Stacy Christine has decided to grace my stage at Straight Out of Savannah Talking with Tammy. And I'm overjoyed. And I mean, I just have goosebumps just thinking about all the things that she said, because abundance is your birthright. She didn't know, but that has been something that I have been diving into this year.
Woo! Just as here. Look at God. Look at God.
Because I knew that, and I had, I had it somewhere, you know what I mean? And of course I had heard it because, I was a church girl. So I
Yeah.
knew that abundance was my birthright, but I really have been diving into that, and I also have been diving into connecting with my ancestors. She didn't know that either. So
I,
so this has been just powerful, and I know if I felt it, I know that you felt it as well. So, again, this has been Straight Out of Savannah talking with Tammy. This has been my guest, Stacy Christine. I have enjoyed this, and I know that if you've listened to us all this time, you've enjoyed it. And so, she's giving you the details of how to connect with her. It will also be in the description of the video as well as the audio. So, make sure that you connect with her, because she is fire, and I am just so grateful that she was here today to share her story with us. So we're going to probably do a part two. because it's necessary.
I'm down.
So again, thank you so much for joining us. What the world? Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.
Bye.
Uh,